Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating article. Every system is a log. Avoiding coordination in distributed applications. It's all about simplifying the complexities of building resilient distributed applications. A real headache for many developers, right?
Absolutely. Building distributed systems is notoriously difficult. The article highlights the constant worry about failures, concurrency issues, and the need for complex coordination mechanisms. It's a real mess, isn't it?
Exactly. The core problem is that we're dealing with multiple systems, databases, message queues, locking services, each with its own state and log. The article proposes a radical simplification, treating everything as a single log. Ingenious, huh?
So instead of coordinating multiple logs, we unify them? That sounds like a huge shift in paradigm. But how does it work in practice? I mean, databases aren't just logs, are they?
That's a great question. The article uses the analogy that databases are essentially logs. The write-ahead log is the primary source of truth. Even message queues are logs, and locking services rely on log replication. The key is to leverage this underlying log-based nature.
I see. So the proposed solution is to have a single upstream log which acts as the source of truth for all operations. Every action, every state change, is recorded as an event in this log. This includes things like acquiring and releasing locks, updating databases, and sending notifications.
Precisely. And the beauty of this approach is that it eliminates the need for complex coordination mechanisms. Concurrent invocations, retries, and failures are handled gracefully, because the log maintains a complete and consistent history of events. Think of it as a single, immutable source of truth.
But wouldn't this create a massive single point of failure? And what about separation of concerns? Isn't this tightly coupling everything?
That's a valid concern. The article addresses this by suggesting that this approach isn't about replacing databases entirely. It's about using the single log for specific, scoped operations, particularly those related to state management within a service or handler. It's not about a single log for the entire system, but a strategic use within specific contexts.
Okay, that makes more sense. So it's more of a pattern than a complete architectural overhaul. The article mentions Restate, an open-source project that implements this idea. How does Restate fit into this picture?
Restate acts as the broker for this unified log, handling event delivery, retries, and ensuring exactly once semantics. It provides an SDK that simplifies the process of writing events to the log and handling retries. The SDK manages the complexities of the underlying log, making it easier for developers to build resilient applications.
So essentially, Restate abstracts away the complexities of managing the log, allowing developers to focus on business logic. That's a significant advantage. The article also mentions virtual objects in Restate. What are those?
Virtual objects in Restate are groups of stateful handlers that share state. The state is persistently stored in a key value store, and the handlers interact with it through the log. This allows for robust and consistent state management, without the need for distributed locks or complex coordination. It's a clever way to manage state within the context of the unified log.
This sounds incredibly powerful. It simplifies the development of distributed applications significantly by reducing the need for complex coordination and handling failures more gracefully. It's a compelling argument for a paradigm shift in how we think about building distributed systems.
Absolutely. The article concludes by mentioning future developments for Restate, including distributed deployments and further exploration of the log's design. It's a project worth keeping an eye on. And that's a wrap for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.